welcome to the podcast. It's your boy, the Djinn. I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Henry Papali, in New Jersey. Are you there?
I am here. I am the H-Master, and you are the D-Djinn. Clearly, as you wish. You wish to record episode 207.
Henry, I'd like to... Have you ever thought about what is in your heart's true desire?
I know that I have wishes that...
I would like to offer you 3 wishes.
Now, are there no caveats to these wishes, Genie, or no caveats?
Very straightforward. You tell me what you want, it comes true.
So if I say, like, I want $1 million, it doesn't mean, like, $1 million is going to be, like, coming out of my stomach.
Certainly part of the wish will involve you receiving $1 million in some way.
Part of the wish. Okay, but that sounds good enough to me. That'll be my first wish.
Great. How does your butthole feel? You've been raped in the ass by $1 million. Do you have paper cuts?
I want to unwish it. Unwish it.
Okay, you have 2 more wishes.
I wish for a beautiful woman to be everywhere I go. They'll all be attracted to me. No caveats.
No, definitely no caveats. But you're going to be swarmed by beautiful women, and you will suffocate to death under a pile of them. How does it feel?
That's not what I meant by this wish. That's very unpleasant.
Okay,
Genie.
well, that's okay. You have 1 more wishes.
One more wish or
Wishes.
I wish that the world was like it was before COVID-19.
Before COVID-19.
Before, yeah.
You mean like in the Ice Age? Now the whole world is frozen and you've killed everybody.
I'm freezing. This is not what I meant. Jesus, what do you have to gain from this, Genie? What's the point?
I am seeking an entryway into my throne world.
Well, good luck. You have fucking 997 more people to get. So
that's
thanks
right.
a lot.
1,000 souls. Oh, I forgot to ask you for your soul. Oh, damn it. I did all of that for nothing. You have no more wishes. I must move on to my next conquest.
We'll just try to build a fire here. Thanks for helping me out. That was really great.
You're welcome. You can thank your friend, the Djinn.
I'm sorry. Yes. What?
Welcome to the podcast. Hey, we're talking about the Wishmaster this week. I shouldn't say the Wishmaster. It's simply Wishmaster.
Wishmaster.
Wes Craven presents. And this comes to us from patron Michael Hartley.
Michael Hartley.
Yep, he's relatively new patron. This is his first pick, and we're going to try to do our best with it. So today we're covering Wishmaster as well as Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. Bad title. They could have done better.
Yeah, it really isn't very creative at all. I actually liked in one of the posters, it just said Wishmaster 2, and then the little chyron said again. I like that better. Wishmaster 2, again.
I love it. Keep
That
it
would've
up.
been better. Yeah.
And then they could have had that Janet Jackson song as like the theme of the movie.
Again?
Yeah, you remember Again?
And I'll never fall in love with you again. Bound, down, down, down.
A song, I believe, written for the Poetic Justice soundtrack.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love Janet Jackson, man, in the 80s. That fucking Rhythm Nation.
Yeah, I know. You're a Rhythm Nation, man. I understand. I love lowercase Janet as well as the one where she did the Joni Mitchell song.
Don't remember that.
What was that called?
I don't know, but I do. Yeah, you're talking about, was that also early 90s?
Yeah, it was like the Joni Mitchell song was Big Yellow Taxi, but the song that she did was called Got Till It's Gone. I believe Q-Tip was involved.
Yeah, it slipped my mind.
Q-Tip.
I want to be like Q-Tip.
Granted.
You're dead.
Wait.
Now you're dead.
Wait, is Q-Tip alive?
You're full of wax. Fucking cares.
Yeah. What do you mean, who cares? Q-Tip's great.
I don't even know. I couldn't.
He's alive. He's alive.
That's good. I'm relieved.
Tribe Called Quest, dude.
I have like 2 of their albums. I didn't.
Yeah, he's in there.
Okay, all right.
He's one of the tribe.
A lot of times when these guys go and come out of their group and go do like featurettes with somebody else, I don't even know who they are anymore. I completely lose it. I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, you gotta
Greg Allman.
Only Greg Allman.
That was a joke.
Okay, you gotta keep track, man, because you know some of them. I know you can name all Fugees. Name all Fugees.
Lauryn Hill.
That's it?
Give me a clue.
No, I'm not even gonna give you a clue because you should be getting this.
Are they all people I know?
Of course.
Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes was not in the Fugees.
I don't fucking remember, man. Just Funyuns and Fugees. Funyuns and Fugees.
Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef Jean.
And Proswell Michelle.
No, don't know that.
Of course, Ghetto Superstar.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry, can you name all NWAs?
Yes.
Try.
Easy. I don't have to try, motherfucker. Easy-E, Ice Cube.
He's already out. There's 3 more.
No. Whoa. NWA was really just 3 main guys.
So you only count the famous ones, huh?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
So there's Eazy-E. Who did I say? Who was the other one?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Ren.
MC Ren, very good.
MC Ren, thank you. MC Ren. See, those are the 3 really.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely Dr. Dre. He's a little obscure.
I was getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
In my brain, I was trying to remember if that was Dr. Dre. Because I always have trouble remembering that Dr. Dre and Ice Cube were in the same group together because they're so different now. But yes, of course, Dr. Dre. Yep. That's it. I can't do the 5th.
Yella.
I don't know Yella. I don't remember that.
Okay, now, this should be the podcast. Now name all 7 Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, my God. Hey, I was listening to NWA before when you were a zygote.
Mm-hmm. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
I was alive when they came out.
You were like 1 year.
Sure.
Old. Can you quote NWA lines? I can.
I can't quote anything.
Oh, I can. Would you like me to?
No.
Fuck the police coming straight from the
underground. He knows fuck the police. Great.
Young N-word got it bad because I'm brown.
Oh.
The next line's tough. And then I know gangsta. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. Gangsta. That's right.
Wishmaster was released.
You open.
Oh, I love that it broke up at that point. All right, so Wishmaster, Henry. This is a movie. Scream had come out the year before. Wes Craven had enough clout to get this piece of shit made and get released in theaters with an advertising budget. I remember when this movie came out. I was excited about it. I rented it on VHS. I watched it.
Oh, wow.
I weirdly remember in my parents' bedroom. I don't know why that would have been, but I was up there for some reason watching Wishmaster.
They had the video. They had the VHS player up there.
Yeah, maybe they were watching something downstairs in the living room TV.
Yeah.
Maybe no one else in my household wanted to watch Wishmaster.
That would be weird. I mean, that's an odd reason, but yeah. No recollection from me on this fucking thing. But what I'd like to offer some praise for the movie, if I may.
I'm fine with it. I can offer praise to this movie. I don't hate this fucking movie. When I say piece of shit, it's almost like a term of endearment.
Right. I mean, so hopefully this is going through, and the Children of the Corn fatigue, I believe, might have contributed to this. But this movie truly is a lot of effort went into this fucking movie. I am not being sarcastic. Like, this was definitely a labor of intense fucking creation and love, and you can tell that. I mean, like, this is not a lazy, shitty movie.
This is a passionate piece of filmmaking.
Yeah, well, sure. I had been looking forward to maybe doing an impression of the director, so I had found something on YouTube of him, but there's nothing really to him. He's actually a really sweet guy, and so then I was like, that's not what I was looking for. I was really looking for some kind of awful weirdo, and there's nothing there. He's like
about him?
Normal dude. A little bit, not much. Go
He's
ahead.
sort of one of these like classic makeup guys. He's still working. Okay. He has credits on Haunting of Hill House and Dr. Sleep. He's working with that Flanagan fella these days.
Oh yeah.
But like he was just like Wes Craven's makeup guy. He pitched this movie. Wes Craven was like, "Hey buddy, I just made this movie Scream. I've got some fucking juice, bro. You want me to get this thing made?" And he was like, "Please do." So,
Yes, I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, no, that's not true, dude. His name was all over the ads for this movie.
Was it really?
He promoted it. I remember there being interviews in publications with Wes Craven with him pushing Wishmaster.
Wow. I don't remember that at all. Holy shit.
Because the whole thing was Scream was sort of like a whodunit. The 90s was sort of like a dead zone for horror, and what he wanted to do was go back to like the 80s slashers. So
yeah,
the way that he talked about this movie in interviews was like the Djinn is the new Freddy Krueger or Jason or whatever.
Right.
And like you could kind of see where he's coming from, but I don't know if you could make 10 movies with this Djinn.
Yeah, no. Well, there's so many movies with that direct title too. Like I before I even knew about this fucking thing, like all over Netflix, there's Jin. They're all over the place.
Yeah, but did they happen after this movie?
They might have. I mean, probably.
You're talking about Netflix.
But I mean, like yeah, not just Netflix, Tubi, fucking everywhere now. Like you could get them everywhere. So the idea is now, I guess this maybe was are you giving this movie that originality credit? It could be.
I'm giving it an originality credit in that I think it's a noble effort for 1997 to try to create a new Freddy Krueger, and I think Andrew Divoff is oddly a strong enough performer that you can kind of rely on him the same way that you could Robert Englund in those movies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of think these movies are pretty fun for what they are. I mean, there's not much to them. And look, I'm not going to give it full originality points because like the evil genie who fucks with your wishes is like a trope that's been going on for like years. There's like 3 different evil genie episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Plus, it's just the fucking monkey's paw story over and over again. So I mean, it's just it's 1,000 years old.
There's of course an episode of The Twilight Zone where like someone he wishes to have like a lot of power or something, and they turn him into Hitler. Because everything ends with someone turning into Hitler.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think the thing going against this first movie really is just that it's too long and it's short. It's a short movie.
It's so short, dude. It didn't feel long to me.
It just goes a little bit on. I mean, the second movie is real. I really felt that. That actually took me close to 4 hours to finish that second movie. I had to break so many times.
Can I please pipe in here for just a quick second?
Sure.
I loved the second one.
Are you fucking nuts?
I really loved it.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Wow,
I
no way.
really enjoyed it. I read up on the lead actress. I've read interviews with her now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I really had a fun time.
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, I found certain parts of it interesting, but it just dragged like hell. I thought the acting was horrendous. Whereas in the first one, I actually thought everyone was fully aware they were in a B movie, and that was part of the charm of the first one.
I thought
It's
the second one was perfectly cast.
Yeah, you just like Morgana, didn't you?
That's part of it. Listen, let's talk about the first one first. This Robert Kurtzman fella did end up going on to direct other horror movies, but nothing that you'd have any interest in. Well, you might. Your Letterboxd page is like, at this point, because now you're keeping the diary, Henry. You're like only watching like straight to streaming horror movies.
It might be.
I turn on Letterboxd the other night. I'm like, what's Henry been watching? He's watching like some horror movie called like Squelch. Or like it's called like Fart.
I'm watching this.
What was it actually called?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, it's probably you're referring to one that actually isn't a horror movie. Are you talking about Still?
No. It was one word, and it was like squirm.
Oh, Puka?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was garbage. I'm watching that.
Oh, you gave it 3 stars.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. Not Puka.
Never Puka.
Never Puka. That's considered like the best one of the Into the Dark series, and I don't know what they're talking about. It's a 3-star series, pretty much all the way through, 3 to 1. But I'm interested in it.
Yeah, 3 and 1. You don't give things 2s and 4s.
That's such bullshit.
You're anti 2 and 4. It's 1, 3, and 5. Everything.
Yeah, pull it up right now. Look at my diary for look at my reviews right now. I swear to God. Yeah, you sure do.
No, fine. You want me to?
Yeah.
I'm sick of talking about Letterboxd on this fucking thing. All right, Hank Beast. Here you are. His X-Men fan account. Let's see. Most recently, Henry gave something a 5, then a 3, then a 5.
Keep going.
Okay. Then a 4. All right, he's got some 4s, and Puka did get a 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Boxing Helena got a 2.
You watched Boxing Helena?
No, I've just seen it.
Oh, you're talking. Okay.
Yeah. If you're looking at you'll know my diary. It'll say I watched. Yeah. No.
All right. This movie was written by somebody. His name was Peter Atkins. Creator of the Atkins diet. Did you know that?
That is, maybe he wished for a successful diet program.
He created
got that.
theater. That's the only successful wish diet.
Lives better. I've always wanted to make people's lives better. Maybe could you give me like a diet plan? Atkins diet.
Granted. He wrote Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, as well as Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and Hellraiser Bloodline.
Nice.
He's the Hellraiser guy and Wishmaster guy, and that's pretty much it. Actually, is Pinhead a better version of Freddy Krueger for the 90s?
I mean, I hate Freddy Krueger, so Pinhead wins in my head anyway. So yeah. Better version of Freddy Krueger for the 90s.
I mean, like a recurring horror icon, which is what the Djinn was supposed to be.
the
Oh, boy.
Djinn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that this I agree with you about the Andrew Dive-Off. Let's say dive off.
Andrew Dive
Dives
Clay.
off. The D off. You know, he's weirdly good in these movies, you know, because I was thinking when I was watching him, I was like, this guy doesn't have an easy job here. He's got to like kind of create a new horror villain, and he's like right in the fucking throes of the end of Freddy, and this shit's still going on though, and Jason and Pinhead, and you know, he's trying really.
I think
really
he
hard.
rules.
Yeah.
I think it's a great performance.
Some of the reviews from some of our friends on Letterboxd are really fucking funny about him. They fucking hate him, but
You're
I don't.
dumb.
Think that's fair.
If you hate Andrew Divoff, you're fucking dumb.
I mean, because I'm looking at him, I'm like, look, he's given this material, and he's trying to do
elevating every second of these movies. You know, I read that he was supposed to direct the third and fourth movies, and then they wouldn't give him a high enough budget, and he dropped out, so he's not even in the third and fourth movies. So I'm savoring every ounce of Divoff that I can get.
Yeah. Well,
And
really
I'm of
glad
course
that-
already a fan from Lost.
Right. I looked at all these people and their filmographies, and obviously I was like, Dan knows all of these fucking people because a lot of them are.
He was a one-eyed Russian super soldier on Lost. It was pretty awesome.
Well, clearly I've seen him in stuff too because he's been in many movies I've seen, but I don't recognize him at all.
He's around. Speaking of the cast of this movie, I do want to point out that Kane Hodder is present and accounted for, so we are in the Kane Hodder era of Wishmaster.
Oh my god!
Mhm.
Yeah, we get fucking Kane Hodder and Robert Englund in one fucking movie.
You better believe it.
They're
Well,
Yeah,
this was
I
the
mean-
thing. It was like a passing of
Right.
the torch to the Djinn.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, I didn't. But like I said, this movie really is like, especially in the sequences involving, you know, actual special effects. They're really trying. Like by the time the statues were coming to life, I'm like, boy, this guy is really into this. He is going for broke, and I had to admire that. I wasn't particularly into it, but I was thinking and comparing and contrasting with Children of the Corn that are so fucking lazy that it's just like there's no comparison, because at least this guy, you know, he is firing on all cylinders, man. It's like he is really trying to entertain you.
Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, is better than all 10 Children of the Corn movies. I think maybe Urban Harvest can beat the first Wishmaster for me. But
beat the first Wishmaster?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I prefer the second. Okay, wait, I want to finish the stats.
I like the... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, September 19th, 1997 was the release date for this, on a budget of $5 million and a box office of $15.7 million. It came in at number 96 at the box office for 1997, made a little bit less than Fire Down Below with Steven Seagal, which I've said nice things about on the podcast, and a little bit less than the superior movie titled Rocket Man, starring Harlan Williams. And don't you remember? He farts in a spacesuit, makes a big bubble.
Yeah. I remember Harlan Williams.
He's on Mars.
Boy. We were a mess in the late 90s. My God. What was happening?
We were looking for comedy stars. I think Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I think Pauly Shore surprised everybody. He became a star, and then I think Hollywood was like, "What do people want? They want Pauly
where's
Shore."
the next dumb guy?
Okay.
the dumb guy?
Will they watch Carrot Top in a movie? Will they watch Harlan Williams star in a movie?
Totally right. You're totally right. And Pauly Shore was like a thing when I was about 12 or 13, when he was sort of at his height, 91, 92. After 92, I know he was still making movies, but that was it. Like that's where everybody my age was walking around going, "Hey,
Buddy."
All that shit. I was doing it too.
Yeah, we's the juice.
But then that ended, and he was gone.
I stayed, baby. Every movie from Encino Man to Jury Duty, I saw in theaters.
I saw Encino Man in theaters.
I saw Son-in-Law in theaters. I saw in the Army Now in theaters. I saw Jury Duty. I saw Biodome. I saw.
Yeah.
Is there one other one?
Let me think. I
love Pauly. All right, Henry. God created man. We know that much. As the narration.
That's the best. Oh my God. There's one line in there. I didn't write it down. I hope you did. This is in a time before time.
Because there are no humans. The dinosaurs could not tell time, as you know.
No, but like, I love that because some of that opening title card it's not that it's bullshit, but it makes sense. You know, that phrase doesn't even make. What are we doing in a time before time? It's like, what?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
In a time before time,
Henry, time did not exist until man.
So the Earth did not rotate.
It did, but nobody could tell.
Nobody. But that doesn't objectively mean that time didn't exist.
There's no time.
No time.
Yeah.
There's no time, like the present, to discuss the opening title card.
Maybe they were referring to in 1997, the song "Time" by Hootie and the Blowfish was a recent hit. They might have been saying before that.
I'll fucking sit through 10 more Children of the Corns before one Hootie and the Blowfish fucking song. There you go, right there.
Are you kidding me? I would watch an entire Hootie and the Blowfish concert.
Would sit through a lot, but I would not. I can't.
I owned Cracked Rearview on CD.
Of course you did.
Everybody.
It's my Achilles. It's of a certain age. It's an Achilles heel of mine. I can't. My musical tolerance is extremely low these days. Always has been, actually. I shouldn't say these days. I don't
need to use any of my tolerance to enjoy Hootie and the Blowfish. It goes down easy. All right.
Not for me.
All right.
Down like a Wishmaster creature.
Ooh, well, let's talk about some of these creatures. All right, so the Djinn, he's a genie. He was created before time. And this was it's Persia 1127. Yeah. That's the first title card we get. I'm like 1127. That's early. It's like before Last of the Mohegans and shit.
It's around the Declaration of Independence, if I'm not mistaken.
It's before that. It's like 600 years before that.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke.
I know it was. But I like to prove to you that I know about history.
I kind of thought that's what you were doing, but you know that I know. You know that I know you know that. You know, like
maybe I was trying to prove to the listeners that I'm not an idiot.
Listen, Henry, no, 1127. That's like a half millennium before the Declaration. Yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously.
Declaration.
That's pyramids, though, right?
It was written by Jefferson, and the first signee was Herbie Hancock. All right. So there's all kinds of shit happening. There's I wrote down killer skeletons bursting from skin sacks. That was pretty baller, dude. Just like bodies exploding. It's not Evil Dead though. It's more gruesome. I mean, in Evil Dead, they're going for like a Ray Harryhausen feel.
Yeah. No, it's this movie. I mean, the first movie especially, way more than the second one, is gruesome to the point where it's like. I just it was too much. I thought it was
Agreed.
Too much.
No, I did too. I felt like the first one was trying to go for that like super evil feel that was popular in the 90s. Like that's something like Candyman or Hellraiser or In the Mouth of Madness captured.
Yes.
Yeah, it just like this is fucked, guys. Get ready.
Yeah. It's like it should just have like a little subtitle on the bottom going, "What you are watching is the fucked up movie of the '97 year."
I feel like every copy of the VHS should come with a guy who, at every set piece, whispers in your ear, "Wasn't that fucked up?"
comes with a little MPAA guy who's like he's part of that, but he's just kind of like this. What's he look like? I'd love to see what that guy looks like. The guy in your ear who whispers that to you.
He's just a guy in a suit.
Probably like all black.
I mean, they'd probably hire minorities
To say that. In your ear.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be a high-paying job watching Wishmaster with people. Illegal
So it's like
immigrants are doing it. It's like you line up outside of the Virgin Megastore, and then they hire people out. All right, you, and you.
It's your passage into the country. It's like the Irish coming. As soon as they got off the boat, they had to go right to the Civil War front of battle. So Mexicans or anyone from South America, they have to come through the border, and there's somebody there in Hollywood from Hollywood going, so listen, have I got a deal for you? You get into the country, we got a little thing called Wishmaster.
We all had to do a couple of Wishmaster shifts.
And then they get some poor guy like, so how do I come into your country? I speak Wishmaster? What
See,
do I say?
I go with an Irish accent. Henry likes an ethnic accent.
That is an ethnic accent. Irish, is it? Fucking idiot.
All right, it's America.
All of the Irishmen coming up through Mexico.
America, present day, 1997. We're at a construction site, and no, we're not. We're sort of at like the docks, right? And it's like
yeah, it does look like that. Yeah.
we're like unloading boxes, like a shipment of shit for a museum, and it's this big statue of the Djinn with a ruby in it.
Robert Englund is extremely excited.
That's right. He works for the museum. But unfortunately, there's an alcoholic crane operator who's drinking on the job very early in the day, trying to fight the shakes. You know? And he
that whole flask in there too, man. Wow. He's not trying to pace. He's just all of it.
Yeah,
Coffee.
but he's still early on that he is filling a flask rather than just carrying around a pint of whiskey.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like, he's not on the verge of quitting. I feel like he's got...
No, not at all.
He's got a couple... He's got like 5 more years of hell in front of him.
He sure does. But I just meant like he's not pacing the amount of alcohol to last him throughout the day. That's what I meant.
So no, you're right. This is like breakfast.
Yeah, well, maybe he's got a liquor store down the dock or something, so he's not worried about it.
Or they're only scheduled to work on that site until like noon, because he's like, I mean, he needs alcohol to last him his whole shift, and that's not the way he's drinking at the moment.
No, but it's a good union they have, so he can go. They get like short shifts, so he's probably just operating that crane for like 3-4 hours.
Well, they might then be going to the museum where he has a lot of shit stashed in his locker.
It's a great point. It's great. So he's a dock worker, construction worker / museum employee. He's a docent.
Yeah.
Over here, we got a horror Mazda, not like the car.
Yeah, a lot of Mazda talk in this movie.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's moving this crane. He's got the box, and he fucks up because he's drunk, and the box falls on a guy, which was great.
That was surprising. Yeah,
I thought it was just gonna like shatter, but it actually fell on a dude.
It's a good way to kill off a character immediately.
Character.
No, I didn't see it. Yeah, right. Good point. I didn't see it coming. Yeah.
No,
I just liked how nobody gives a shit that the guy died. They're all very like, clean this mess. Oh my God, the statue.
People are concerned about the guy. That's how the one dude's able to like sneak away the ruby.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you can tell what's in their hearts, but
I can tell what's in your hearts.
he's very clumsy. That's the thing with this Djinn. He's not really that capable. You know, he's got like one power. He can't read minds.
You don't need... Listen, all he has to do is go up to you and be like, what do you really wish?
Yeah, but then if you could just several times the heroines of this of these pieces, do. They're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna play, and then you can just walk away. You know, he can't even see through walls, which occurred to me. Like he's not like an omnipresent being.
But you know what? It's not as limited as you think, because later in this first movie, he's like describing a wish. He's like trying to get a guy to wish something, and then the guy goes, "That's something I would love to see." And then the djinn's just like, "Granted." And I'm like, he didn't say I wish. Apparently that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got to watch your tongue around him. I definitely caught on to that in these movies. You can't just kind of
Never talk about anything that you want.
Right. No.
Just talk about the facts of your day. I read a book yesterday.
I wish I read that book yesterday. No, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, but don't let him respond. You can't be like, my stomach hurts to the djinn, because then he'll be like, don't you wish it felt better?
I will release you from your pain.
Yeah. And then like a fucking gnome like pops out of your stomach.
No. There's some gnomes in here. We got everything in this movie.
Yeah,
really.
everything's
gnomes,
flying around.
Goblins, gnomes, all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Ghouls.
There's
definitely ghouls. Okay, so the guy's dead. This worker sells the ruby to like a pawn shop or something. Pawns
and like
it.
a fucking idiot, he sells it for like $200. Now, I mean, how dumb? Honestly, how dumb do you have to be? You might not know anything about art. I mean, he's a dock worker. He might not be the most cultured guy.
Yeah, it's true. This is being imported from another country. Like there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah, and this imbecile is like, oh shit, I got something. He takes it to this pawn shop, and he sells it to him for $200. I mean, what is wrong with this guy?
But where is he going to take it? He can't like take it to another museum and be like, hey, I stole this.
No, but jack the price up. Be like, look, I got this ruby. Lie to the pawn shop guy. Be like, look, this is worth like $5,000, $10,000 I will not take it.
I don't think you should accept anything less than like four figures.
I mean, $200.
It's pretty bad. I do like that he says. He does say though, like, did I get fucked over?
Yeah,
I like that.
That's why it's funny. Yeah, because that's when he tells her what he sold it for. Yeah.
Her? Do you mean our lead actress?
I do.
Her name is Tammy Lauren. She's playing a character named Alex Amberson.
Love it.
Did you get it? Like amber. It's like another precious stone.
Well, I didn't think of that. I thought of amber and how they find mosquitoes in prehistoric amber to examine them, and so I know that.
Do they do that, or is that a plot point in Jurassic Park?
It's actually done.
Is it actually done?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. When I was a kid, you used to be able to buy at museums. You'd be able to buy like a fucking mosquito prehistoric or some shit, or they'd tell you it was.
Then why didn't you reverse engineer it into a dinosaur?
Because I chose to not be a science guy, which was one of the dumbest things I ever did in my life. I chose to play the guitar. So
I'm
I was
an
all
artist.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
I need to rock the world with my art.
The first time either one of us was ever had any artistic inclinations, we should have just been whacked upside the head.
That's not true, because we wouldn't have the podcast if we didn't. I like doing the podcast. The podcast is like a positive thing in my life.
Jesus, got all serious here for a second.
I was taking the conversation seriously because I often think I've made all the wrong choices in life.
Jesus Christ.
But I think the reverse. I think I should have been more artistic. I don't think I should have gone to college. It's fucking worthless 4 years of my life.
Well, the only thing that was great about college for me was the 6-figure debt that I currently have right now. That's cool.
That is great.
6 figures, folks. And I did not go to Harvard. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Okay, what happens next?
Whoever's listening left, it'd be great. Sorry for that. All right. Yeah, what happens next? So
Alex has a friend
Yes, right.
They play tennis together, and
Strange. I thought they were brother and sister in that first sequel. I did not
No,
understand.
I thought
the
they were boyfriend
dynamic.
and girlfriend.
I didn't get it, and then when I saw him googly eyeing her, then I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, yeah."
But he's in the friend zone.
Oh, he's firmly in the friend zone. She's adamant Amber. Yeah.
Yeah. Amber, of course, let's talk more about her. She is a very multifaceted character. She works as a gemologist, where she
She's a magnificent
studies
Amber.
rare gems, and she's also a girls' basketball coach.
I love that touch. That's like so pointless, and like, what is the fucking point of that?
There really is no. It never comes back except like late in the movie. She's like late to a game, and like we're supposed to care about that. It's not like we ever meet any of the kids that she's coaching.
No, it didn't. It didn't really matter. Weirdly, it was in line with what I was kind of doing with my viewing this weekend, which was a lot of basketball docs. So it kind of felt like it fit right in there. Wishmaster, Magic and Bird.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch more basketball movies?
I think I might. I don't know. I'm scrolling through the 30 for 30s trying to remember which ones I've seen. And
I recommend The Air Up There.
I know that sounds familiar. I'm gonna get on that.
Kevin Bacon's a basketball scout. He goes to Africa, and it's great.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, they're all like $2 to buy on Amazon, but whatever. Anyway, you didn't like my Amberson joke, by the way. I thought that was pretty creative. So
Would you say the Magnificent Ambersons? You made a reference.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Orson Welles movie.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You should see it. Okay, what happens next? Alex, she's got a sister, right?
Yeah, she does. Shannon.
Yeah, so she's alive, but her parents are both dead. There was a fire when they were younger, and Alex saved both of the parents from the fire. No, saved the sister, but both the parents died.
Right, but it was her fault anyway.
Whose fault was it?
It was. I blame Alex.
What happened? Remind me of the sister.
Well, she blames herself, and so do I. And the sister says, it wasn't your fault. There's nothing you could have done. And she said, yes, there was. And she says, no, there wasn't. And then I just kind of concluded on my own. I was like, yeah, Alex probably fucked up. So.
But do we know what happened?
No, they're just a fire. Yeah. It's not that kind of movie where it's going to get that detailed into the pyrotechnics of the pyromania going on. She was probably playing with matches or something, Maybe a gas light was pilot light, something like that,
Henry, how'd the Djinn get resurrected?
I feel like I'm being interviewed. I love it. Well, what I had in mind was the Djinn gets resurrected when Alex's semi-boyfriend is using an amazing technology that I'm not sure existed or even does now. He's using lasers to do something to it. I'm not sure what, but he heats it up and it explodes in the machine, thus unleashing the Djinn and injuring very badly, if not mortally, her kind of boyfriend. And then the Djinn we get his first taste of the Djinn when he crawls out sort of like a Giger creation, but not as good.
Oh, that's right. He's like a fetus Djinn.
Right. He's a Djinn fetus. And he says,
Do you want me to release you from your pain?
And he's like, yes. And then, he explodes his stomach or some shit. It's great.
Okay.
Gets his first soul.
Yeah, that was a good kill. What are some of your other favorite wishes that went wrong in this movie?
The second one I felt was more creative with that, but this one, boy, I gotta try to remember.
He turned the sales lady into a mannequin. I appreciated that.
That was funny because it was I didn't really know what he was going to do to her, but I was relieved that it gave me about 4 seconds of the movie where there wasn't a horrific death.
God, I remember the second one so much better. I'm like,
so do I,
I'm looking at my notes and I don't remember any of this shit.
Well, Kane Hodder has a death where he gets Yeah.
Tell me about that,
Oh,
Deb.
he gets pushed through the bars that he's blocking. Remember that? He's like, "You're gonna have to walk through me" or whatever.
That's in
And
the
it's just
second one, right?
no, it's not. No. That's Kane Hodder is in the front of the. It's
What
Kane Hodder only in the
bars?
first one. Like there's like security bars to get through a. You're thinking of the second one because there's jail. This is like he's the security guard, I think, at the museum. And Jin wants to go through him, so he like presses him through it, and he becomes part of the bars. You don't remember that at all?
Oh my God! I'm
Yeah.
looking at the plot summary now. It's
Yeah, there's a lot of
fucking
death.
ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of death. Oh, a pharmacist. That's pretty gruesome. The pharmacist, he gets cancer, I guess, a rapidly force 5 to 10 second cancer. Remember the hobo says, "I wish you got cancer." And then the
Oh
pharmacist
yeah,
just-
yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. There's not a lot of plot in this movie because a lot of it is just the Jin walking around causing chaos before he like
That was
eventually
alright.
like touches paths with the main character.
yeah, he was okay with that. I didn't need a lot of plot.
No, I mean, nor do I.
But you,
All right, so there's the
Did you-
folklore professor. We should talk about her because she delivers
Yes.
all the exposition.
definitely-
It was Jenny O'Hara, who's an older actress that I like. She, of course, played Kevin James's mom on The King of Queens. And
oh my god! Wow, I didn't remember. Okay, she looked
remember
really
that?
familiar. I mean, I only watched that show for a little bit, not very much. But I didn't remember that. Okay, she looked familiar. Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of her part though is just her like reading information about the Jinn.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
She's an
Yeah.
expert at it. Great exposition delivery. But I mean, there's not much to it. So he's like, he takes the form of a dead guy, who looks like the one-eyed Russian super soldier from Lost, and he takes on the name Nathaniel Demarest, which is reminded me of Mr. Sinister from the X-Men.
Well, what's the? I never did look it up. Is there some sort of etymological reason for that name? Does Demarest or does that mean
I
anything?
don't fucking know.
Yeah, you'd think he'd take something that meant something. I don't know. Maybe it does.
Maybe there's still 2 more movies, Henry. We might learn.
Great point. It's a great point. Now continue.
Okay, so yeah, the fucking homeless guy in the pharmacy. It's all coming back to me now. And then he gets kicked out of the pharmacy and wishes for the main guy to die, and he fucking kills her. All right,
Him. Yeah.
whatever. Well, he kills that's where the woman turns into the mannequin, right?
No,
That's
completely-
elsewhere.
You're totally wrong. Yeah. No, the hobo guy gets the pharmacist.
I swear I watched this.
I believe you. I mean, I didn't really at first because you said you liked the second one better, but now I'm having my doubts. Yeah, no, the mannequin is when he goes to get a suit. Jin goes to buy a suit, and the mannequin woman is the one who says, "You look good in that." And then he's like, "Surely you cannot be satisfied with what you have in this life."
Oh,
And then
yeah.
he like, I would never want to grow old. So he like, granted, done. You know,
Done.
And the hobo wishes the pharmacist to get cancer. So he gives him a very, very aggressive form of cancer.
You know why I forgot this movie?
What's that?
I'm realizing because I fucking hate reset button endings. And this movie has like an ultimate reset button ending. So like everything we're describing right now never actually happened.
Yeah. Well, the second one pretty much has that too, but not to this extent. Because they can't come up with another good way to get rid of a genie. It's really silly. Yeah.
It's
No,
sort of a cute ending where she comes up with the perfect wish, and
Yeah.
as she says that like she wishes that the drunk guy
Right.
did not get drunk that day, and so
Yeah,
he's able
and
to land the crate perfectly, and the gin thing does not break, and he doesn't get to escape from the ruby, and everything's normal. So he actually grants her wish because it was such a well thought out wish, and so the day is solved by the ingenuity of our lead character, which is nice, rather than her just like running away enough.
Yeah, or
so,
like using superpowers.
Yeah.
Or getting some kind. Yeah.
So on the one hand, I appreciate it, but on the other hand, it's sort of like the rest of the movie becomes so inconsequential in my brain as a result of it not existing.
Yeah, that didn't really bother me. It's not a normal type movie here, so it didn't really bother me with how they're gonna vanquish this demon. I didn't really care. I mean, I did want to point out there's a lot of cameos here. I doubt you noticed one that I probably got ahead of you. Did you notice the African American detective helping her out?
Tony Todd?
One? No. That's in the second one.
No, Tony Todd's in the first one.
Tony Todd is in the first one. You're right. That's not the detective, though.
Okay, who's the detective?
Rico Ross, who is Frost in Aliens.
No, I didn't notice that.
He's got the great line in Aliens when they tell him to turn their weapons off. And he's like, "What are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?" Remember that line?
No.
Well, everyone listening appreciates it, so thank you very much.
Okay.
So he.
Go ahead. This.
No,
fucking...
that was actually it.
All right. Tony Todd plays a character named Valentine, Henry. Do you think that's a Candyman reference?
I would think that it would be. Yeah. I mean, right? I haven't seen Candyman in like 30 years, dude. Like 28 years, whenever it first came out. You saw it recently.
It's incredible.
Recently. Like for real.
Yeah, like great film.
Yeah. No, I know. I got to see that again after I finish the Hulu Into the Dark stream.
You gotta, definitely wait until you watch Puffy a few more times, or Pocket, or
There's a Pocket Squelch.
Puka. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that was really, really bad. They made a sequel to it, Puka Lives. I'm going to skip it.
I don't think you will skip it. I guarantee you, within the next year, I will see Puka Lives pop up on your fucking Letterboxd.
You will not. I've actually been kind of going a little bit by different websites as ranks of these things, which are very funny because for the most part, they're just dismissed as junk. But when I see one that's like Brian Tallarico on RogerEbert.com, if he says something like, "This is marginally better than the other,"
you jump for it.
I'll give it a chance.
Yeah. Let me ask you one thing, though. Have you seen Fitzcarraldo?
Oh, well, I did see it on Letterboxd. Does that count as seeing it?
No.
Do you know what I did see? And I don't think I ever mentioned this on the show. And if I did, it would have been years ago. I believe I saw Burden of Dreams. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, that's fine, but that doesn't mean you saw Fitzcarraldo.
I'll tell you.
Henry seen Fitzcarraldo. 9. He has not.
Right, but he did see Burden of Dreams, and I think that counts for something.
So. It doesn't. Hey, did you like the Jin's look when he's all make-upped out, when he's not Andrew Divoff?
I mean, it's, it's not the most original thing, but it's fine. It didn't blow my mind or anything. They just kind of put horns on him, made him look like an old, kind of a Tim Curry legend.
Yeah, it's a little of that. It reminded me a lot of, like, television. Like it looked like a demon that would have been on, like, not even Buffy, but like Angel.
Yeah, or like an alien in Star Trek, and he's got like armor and shit. So I mean, it's the creatures around him were a lot cooler than he actually was.
Yeah, but he has to be able to like move around and talk and shit.
I guess.
He's got Darth Maul contact lenses, which I enjoyed a lot, and he looks a little. You know what? I thought of the demon Etrigan. The Etrigan from DC Comics, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Norm Brayfogel's rendering him is the one I remember most.
I'm sure it is. All right.
That's a great Detective Comic run. This 3-issue thing with Etrigan. Anyway, yeah. He looks. I could see that. It's a little more evil even looking, but sure. That's interesting. Wow. Fucking Etrigan.
Yeah. What do you give this movie?
I'm giving this movie a 2.
Yeah, me too. Who's your MVP?
Dave off.
Hell yeah. Who's your LVP?
I really thought everybody was, doing their part not too badly. So I'm gonna go with Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder. I love to hear it.
Yeah, I didn't think he would at least have to talk. And when he does, it just shows how bad he is, which is just so funny because Tony Todd is in it and fucking steals that little sequence.
Tony Todd's a good actor.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just so good, I love Tony Todd in the 1990 Night of the Living Dead.
Hell yeah, he's great in that.
He's so good in that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Kane Hodder sucks.
I'll go with that guy too.
Thought you might go for Bobby England because he's got a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was fine. He's just playing like a smarmy guy. He can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's is there a superhero count? There's got to be, right?
Yeah, this was an easy one. The next one was a little more annoying because they're so unknown. I had to go to IMDb and go through all their bullshit. But there's a 2 count, and here's your theme, ladies.
Ladies?
And gents.
And gins.
Ladies and gins.
Ladies and gins.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Well, we got Ted Raimi.
Yep, Sam Raimi's erstwhile brother hanging around the fringes wherever he might find horror.
Is that right? Is that?
Yes.
I didn't really know about Ted Raimi. What is he, the Clint Howard of the Raimi family?
Oh, big time. Yeah, but at least Ted Raimi co-wrote the Evil Dead movies, so you got to give him that.
So he has a usage.
Yeah.
All right. He was in Darkman.
Well,
Played
a Sam Raimi movie.
Right. Yeah. I played Rick. Who could forget that?
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. I'm looking at his picture. I don't remember him in this, but he played Ted Hoffman in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yep. Another Sam Raimi movie.
I know.
They gave him the name Ted, interestingly enough, like he's fucking Tony Danza or something.
I love it. And he was in Spider-Man 3, Ted Hoffman must be like, oh, he's in all 3 of the Spider-Mans I'm just seeing. Okay.
Is he a different character in all 3?
No, he's the same one.
He must live in his building or work at the Bugle or something.
It's got to be something like that. All right, and only the last one is Tony Todd, who was Grange in The Crow. The Crow.
He certainly was, I recall.
And he voiced Darkseid in like 1,000 DC cartoons.
Well, he's got that voice.
Yeah, he'd be a good Darkseid.
You throw an echo on Tony Todd and he sounds evil as fuck.
Yeah, just deep. And he played, I don't know this character, Astaroth in Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Azeroth?
Astaroth.
I don't know.
Asta.
Asta's the name of the dog from The Thin Man.
That is correct, from the crossword puzzles.
Yes, it is frequently in the crossword puzzle.
It's always there, yeah.
By the way, Henry, I'm 4 words for a beekeeping character in a movie.
Yuli.
Oh, thank you. That's in the crossword every day.
Oh. What did you think I was going to say?
I was joking. I was just saying, it is Yuli.
Oh. You said 4 words, and I was like...
I meant 4 letters, sorry.
That would have helped me out. Okay, and he played Icon in Young Justice. Don't know who that is.
Probably stupid.
And here's one you'll like, because you probably saw it. Zoom in The Flash.
Oh, yeah, he was like the main villain in the 2nd season, and that's exactly what they did. Like, he's under a mask, they put an echo on his voice, and he sounds evil.
Because it says voice, and I had to check. I was like, well, was that a cartoon? And
No. He was like the main villain, but like the actual character was done with like special effects and shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to do that shit. Come on.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be on set.
No. It's Tony fucking Todd.
He was in Chuck, and he was like the FBI guy who would like give them the mission, or CIA or whatever it was. And so like he didn't have to go to set on that either. It was just like a video phone every week. Hey, I'm Tony Todd. Here's your mission.
If he's not in The Rock, he's not showing up to the set. Remember him in that?
Yeah, Tony, I'll tell you what. Quarantine's got to be real easy for Tony Todd. He's used to this shit.
He works from home.
Yeah.
Phone in roll. All right, now we're coming to Dan's baby, but not mine.
Wishmaster 2, Masterpiece, Evil Never Dies, Wishmasterpiece. That's what this is.
Very, very, very good.
Thank you.
Disagree.
Directed, of course, by a great filmmaker that we've encountered before on the podcast. Jack.
I love when you say
What?
No, I love when you say that, and I didn't look, and so I'm always surprised by that. Yeah,
Jack Shoulder, the director of A Nightmare Upon Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. That was the super gay one. You remember with the kid who's like turning into Freddy, and there's like an invisible baseball bat that beats up a coach.
Oh my God.
Don't you remember, like, Freddy's coming through his body, and it's like, I'm going through changes.
You know, the great part about watching so many movies in life and on the show is that my memory just doesn't need to remember certain things, and I don't remember that at all.
I remember it because it's a good movie, and and he also superhero count directed the Generation X thing that happened in the 90s.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that at all. Jack Shoulder.
Jack Shoulder. This film aired on the Showtime network, and I gotta say, I read that before we watched the movie, and I was hoping for boobs, and there weren't any.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Cinemax, you would have definitely gotten that. But Showtime, either way, you're not really ever sure. But
like we watched, like some of those Children of the Corns, like went straight to the Sci-Fi Channel, and there were boobs in them.
Yeah, more. And in that last couple, what was it, 9 or 8? It was like a fucking full-fledged sex scene on there. It was insane.
I'm sorry, if I'm watching a movie called Wishmaster 2: Evil Never Dies, I require a few boobs.
I would think that at some point in the plot, somebody would ask for something regarding sexual intercourse. That's just me.
Yeah. So Shoulder also wrote this film, by the way. Great auteur, Jack Shoulder. It aired March 12th, 1999, and it had a budget of $2.5 million, half the budget of the first.
That's fucking crazy, man, that budget. I mean, the first one, I could see it for all the effects and all that, and even the dock location. They probably
it's for the effects in this one too, though. I mean, you got to think most of that money was spent on like wishes.
That sounds like the best sentence you've said in a while, but I'm sure it's true. The money probably was spent on wishes, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, but they're not. The effects are a definite downturn in this one. I think. I mean, they're not as creative. And they look
I think it only adds to the charm.
That's what I feel about the first one, but
let's meet our amazing cast of characters. We've got some real museum thieves in this one, a threesome team of Morgana, played by, I gotta tell you, the discovery of the year, Holly Fields.
You always amaze me. I thought you would rip this woman apart. I really did, because compared with Alex Amberson, I did not think this
so much better.
Acting chops. I didn't think she had the acting chops. I mean, she's more my type, but she's not.
Well, it's interesting. She's a goth girl. You don't really see the goth girl as the lead of a horror movie. Sometimes you'll see like goth girls around the fringes of horror movies, but like for a genre that is watched by a lot of goth girls.
That's true. I didn't think of her as a goth girl, though. You know why? Because it was in '99, and I was thinking like of the Ani DeFranco crowd, because she had that hair like that.
It was like a little dreaded up. By the way, I read in an interview with Holly Fields that she learned how to dread her hair while working on a film with The great Whoopi Goldberg who taught her.
Oh my God. Did she go down a little bit of a notch in your book on that?
Went up a notch.
Went up a notch.
All right. But she's also got those little baby goth bangs that were popular at the time, and she dresses pretty gothy, and she's super pale and shit, and she's got piercings. So I thought of her as being a goth girl.
You win. You're right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, there's also Eric. He's a white man. We don't have to talk about him that much. He'll die like immediately.
Dies like before the movie even gets started.
He's only the second one to die though, because Corey Haim dies before that.
Okay, wait a second.
Did you happen to notice that the third member of the crew was an uncredited Corey Haim?
No, not. That's great. I did not see that. Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Aren't they all wearing masks?
Yeah.
Does he take his mask off?
But he dies. He's the one who like dies in her arms.
No, I remember that. That's Corey Haim?
That's Corey Haim. That's what he looked like in 1999.
Oh my God.
That and the reason he's in the movie, Henry, was he was the current boyfriend of the lovely Holly Field.
Is that right?
That's right.
Is that right?
Holly
Wow.
Fields, excuse me.
Yeah, excuse you.
We gotta get Holly Fields on this show. I mean, Henry.
Yeah.
I gotta know more about her dating Corey Haim in 1999. But I mean, it made me think some things about Holly Fields. Like, did she ever have a drug problem?
My God, I can't believe that, dude. Yeah. I did not. Because you get a nice long look at that guy. He's in it long enough to
I was watching him, and he only looks the very slightest bit like Corey Haim. It's just because it's 1999. He's been doing drugs. He's older. We haven't given a shit about him since License to Drive. You can't tell what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean, but did you know he was in this before going into it?
Of course. I would not have recognized him.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because, I mean, I fucking grew up with his stupid movies, and I didn't recognize him at all.
What's your favorite Corey Haim movie?
You got to name some.
The Lost Boys.
I never saw The Lost Boys.
Oh. Dream a Little Dream of Me. License to Drive.
Did see it.
These are the ones that are coming up. I watched License to Drive recently, and you think you think of it as being like a two Coreys movie? But yes. It is very clear cut. The lead of that movie is Haim. Feldman is a supporting player.
Oh, boy. Okay. Which one's dead?
Haim's dead, unfortunately. I wish it was Feldman, frankly.
Feldman's still alive?
Yeah, Feldman's still alive. He looks like Michael Jackson now. It looks like he's had a lot of surgeries, and he's really skinny and like white as a ghost. And he wears sunglasses everywhere he goes. And lately, he's been claiming that he was raped like 1,000,000 times when he was a kid. We don't know whether that's real or a figment of his fevered imagination.
I mean, it was the 80s, and he was a kid. He probably had some bad experiences. It wouldn't shock me. Didn't that happen to Haim?
Well, he says that Haim got raped too.
Right. Oh, Haim didn't say that while he was alive?
No, I believe... well, maybe, I don't know. But now Feldman wrote a book, which he self-published, of course, and he is really going to town. Hey,
is he?
Hashtag me too. Corey Feldman.
Fucking terrible. I'm pulling up a picture of him because I can't. I don't know if this is something I really want to see, but now I feel like I have to.
It's a bummer.
Corey.
After the podcast, Henry, find a link. Some journalist got invited to Corey Feldman's birthday party and then took a shit ton of photos at it and just like captioned all of them on the internet. And it's the saddest, funniest thing you've ever seen.
That's too much for me, man. Oh yeah, oh my goodness gracious, is he transitioning?
No, I mean maybe. Who knows? We remember like people made fun of Bruce Jenner for fucking years, and then it turned out he was transitioning, and then everyone was like, "Oh, actually, he's great."
Boy, oh Oh, didn't he say Charlie Sheen did it?
Yes, that is one of the names he has thrown out.
Oh boy.
Hashtag ginning.
I can't handle it. This is too disturbing.
All right.
God.
The djinn comes to life, of course, because they're robbing a museum, and the thing breaks, and he manifests. At first, he's the fetus again,
Right.
which I actually think looks even cooler in this movie. And
I mean, it looks the same to me.
he's crawling. He looks sort of like a spider beast. And he regresses the guy Eric into like being a baby, right?
That was a cool death.
He goes, "I wish I was never born," and he goes,
which is a weird thing to say. You see this shit.
It's because he'd been shot to shit. Like he was like
I know, but just
bleeding out.
Your normal just be like, just please, I just want to die. What? I wish I was never. Now, of course, it did occur to me that because of the events of the first movie, when he says, "I wish I was never born," I figured that if he was never born, the robbery would never have taken place. So then the whole movie would be over already.
It's true. Actually, that wish could have prevented a lot, like the end of the first movie.
Yeah, it would have actually helped me out a lot because it would have had like an 8-minute running time. But yeah, not you though. I know.
Every time you say something like that, my grade goes up by 1.
I don't think it's possible to go above a 5 on our show, which it was already at when we started.
So a security guard shows up, of course, Henry, and all of a sudden the movie turns into Batman and Robin for a second.
Yep.
He says,
that was good.
He says, "Freeze," and the djinn goes, "Done."
I like too that neither one of us, and you can probably. I don't need to tell you. I wanted to see if I could actually impersonate this djinn. Neither one of us is even.
I'm nailing it. I'm nailing it.
No, you're not nailing it at all. We have the same impression. If we do it at the same time, nobody will be able to tell us apart. All right, let's say Wishmaster at the same time.
No.
Okay?
Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? As the Wishmaster.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. One nation under Jin. I can't do this anymore.
They added the under gin in 1954.
Well, what are you going to do? It's politically correct. You have to have religion. I don't mind. Under Gene.
Yeah.
It was my wish.
It's my religion.
I just like the
Religion.
Oh. Forget Wishmaster. It's the pun master over here, man.
Oh, wait. So let me get back to Batman and Robin, because after he says freeze and he freezes the guy, he goes,
he needed to chill out.
I actually, in both movies, the things that I didn't laugh that much, but there were moments that I thought were really perfectly timed that are so poorly done in some other horror movies of bigger stature, like Nightmare on Elm Street.
ugh.
Whenever he swears, it's very funny because it doesn't happen often and it's extremely unexpected. Like there's a part at the end of the movie when he's telling her to please wish, I'm losing my patience, and she's just like, and then he's like, and you're pissing me off. Like whenever Freddy swears, like it just seems it doesn't work. And so this guy's kind of uses.
Freddy mostly just says bitch over and over again.
That's true. It's not funny the first time, but the Jin knows how to play swear words, and that's a talent.
Yeah, I think it's Divoff, man. He
I agree.
places emphasis. It's a really gorgeous performance, to be honest.
Wow, what a word to use. Yeah. Well, his E's are very long, even when they're I's. So
Wishes.
Right. Wishes.
Okay. So the Jinn gets arrested, which blew my mind. And
That was really funny. I didn't know where he was going with that, I have to say. I was like, all right, I guess he's got some concoction here.
He gets taken to jail. At first, it's like the drunk tank he's in. And a guy's, really razzling him. And he says, well, what would you like to make a wish? Whatever. And he wishes that he can. I wish I could get up right now. He's one of these guys you've seen in like a million things. I wish I could get up right now and walk through those bars and get back into my lane, whatever. And so he starts walking uncontrollably. And he starts to mash himself through the bars.
That was a little uncreative because I knew what was coming as soon as he said, I wish I could walk through those bars. But I was like...
It's uncreative, but as soon as he says it, you want to see it.
Well, I wanted... You know what I got to say? It's the second time this movie that we're talking about where I thought
it's a film.
Resident Evil. Where... In the beginning with the burglary, I really wanted a laser
hallway.
Laser hallway. So then this time I thought he might get like vivisected by like the bars, but he kind of just does. They do like a whole, a birthing of him through these prison bars, and then. But he didn't really grant the wish. I got to be honest with you.
Also, the guy never said "I wish." This is another case where it's just he's breaking all the rules.
Yeah, he's brilliant. There are rules. Not really. No,
there are rules that one must abide by in order to survive a Wishmaster film.
But I have caveats. Because he did say, I want to walk through the bars and walk on out of here. And, I know
can try.
Right, yeah. He should have said that. He should have said that to the guy. He's like, look, all right, but you're going to ruin my game if you can get out of here just scot-free. So the walking part I can't guarantee. And then if the guy still said, that's all right, because then he might have thought, well, fine, I'll be a cripple, but I can get out of here. And then he just ends up being like a head of muscle meat on the floor.
So after that, the Wishmaster obviously goes to trial. And he shows up for his court date in a beautiful suit. We get to see court drawings of the Wishmaster. I was losing my mind.
Dude, you missed one of the... I mean, you're skipping over the whole prison thing, man.
No. The trial happens and then he gets sent to prison.
Oh, really? I didn't even remember. I thought it was mid-prison type of let's see how he's doing type check.
No. Then he becomes prison Jin. This movie is cut into two distinct halves. There's the prologue, of course, in the museum we talked about, but then it's prison followed by Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. Probably an Indian reservation somewhere, but sure, Vegas. Yeah.
Prison is a location that is not used enough in horror movies.
That is a true statement, folks. That's a true statement, dude. The possibilities are... Because unless it's a movie like one of these fucking movies that, Henry watches, where it just takes place in a prison called Squelch, it needs to be... Prison is a great place to not be the focus of the whole movie, but do what this movie does. Spend a little time there.
No.
It's a good one.
I say make it the focus. I would watch a slasher movie in prison where you don't know who the killer is. That rules.
They've done that, man.
What? What movie?
I can't name one. I can't name a single one. But if you look on the streaming services, all these movies...
I'm sorry. I'm not constantly scouring the limits of the streaming services like you are. I'm talking about real movies. Make a good movie like that.
Okay. They need to do... You know what they need to do? Oh, I got it right here. You'll agree with me.
I'm ready.
The ninth Paranormal Activity movie needs to take place in a prison.
And it's all the prison cameras.
There you go.
Look, it's built right in. There's lots of cameras. Oh. Great. Great.
It's done. Send your checks to us.
All right, Henry.
I love those. All right.
What next? He's in prison. Everybody's calling him the gay slur, the F one.
There's a lot of F
A
words.
lot of those
being
thrown
used.
around.
An F word we don't use on this show. Yeah, boy, a lot. Like, when I heard it the first time, I was like, I mean, it's 1999. I didn't think we were still kind of doing that. And then he did it again, and then again, and I was like, all right, I guess they're still doing that.
Yeah.
They were done using that word by then, by a long time.
It feels we were still using it a little bit, but it feels like an awful lot for 1999. You could maybe throw in one at this point.
And you might throw it in a movie where it's like Boys Don't Cry.
No, it would
significant.
or like Tomcats, like one of those like the Farrelly brothers are adjacent to this film.
Right. Yeah. Either in a thing that thinks it's hip but totally is not, or in a culturally significant movie. Not in Wishmaster. What are we doing here?
Yeah. So he loves prison, the Wishmaster. He's like,
Is there anyone with more desperation than a prisoner?
and so
Smart.
yeah. One guy is like, hey. There's a break in my case. My lawyer, he figured some shit out, and I think I'm like get out like next week. And the Wishmaster's like,
That's great. Don't you wish anything would happen with that?
whatever.
You have it completely wrong. It's before he gets a break. In
Oh,
case.
you're
He's
right.
like,
You're right. He says
Yeah.
Yeah. He says I wish my lawyer would go fuck himself or whatever. And then he shows up to the meeting with the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, "Hey, good news! You're out in 3 days. Just gotta get the paperwork through."
So, like me, I'm sure as soon as that very famous character actor, who I need to,
This is the guy with the big like full neck tattoo.
Oh yeah, he's in Training Day. Anytime they
He's
need any sort of
everywhere.
Mexican gangster,
The guy's
he's
name is
cool.
Robert Lasardo.
Yeah.
He
great
was
in
in The
everything.
Mule, right? I remember that.
Yeah, he, as soon as he said that, I was like, that he needs to go fuck himself. I was like, oh my god, I think what's coming is something I'm not going to be able to unsee.
Now-
I really was worried. I was like, yeah, and actually, they ended up kind of doing something not that creative, but also weirdly not graphic.
I loved the way they shot this.
Bizarre.
Yeah,
It was weird though, right? Like it's almost like farcical.
yeah,
It
yeah.
looked
It's
like
funny. He's leaning on the table with like his legs up, like splayed behind him, but he's on his stomach, not his back. And yeah, it's an interesting way to do it. I thought it was funny, and I thought it was trying to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I think the horror of it was just they were like, even this guy couldn't shoulder the
Nice. The
responsibility of. Thank you.
I will say there's an early issue of Preacher, which came out a couple of years before this, where Jesse tells a guy to go fuck himself, and he does, and his cock gets dislodged and stuck in his colon. And I hope that Wishmaster 2 is not ripping that off. I hope this is just a case of the greatest of minds thinking alike.
Yeah, something tells me Jack Shoulder didn't read Preacher comics.
Who
I
knows?
don't know if he's that. I don't know if he's that smart.
Is that a thing smart people do?
Not necessarily. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain comics I feel like it's not like the Preacher's not a wide, especially in what did you say, 1997 that was written?
That issue would have been maybe 95, 96.
I mean, I don't know. That was a pretty small following around.
No, you're probably
the
right.
time. But anyway,
He had a trade
yeah,
paperback on the set.
yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff he gets done in prison. He gets a crime boss beaten up by two Asian brothers.
I loved that, Henry.
They just kick him.
Well, he misses he misses drinking or like drugs or something, right? And he wishes, I wish I could just get wrecked.
Yeah,
and
he's
so
Granted.
and it's like these two like karate guys, and they like both do like flying sidekicks and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but they don't kill him, which was funny because he says like I want to get wasted up to the floor or something, and so they just kind of. But yeah, it'd be fun to count how many times Dave off says done, granted, As you wish. Feels like a lot. It feels
Drinking
like a lot
game
at
could be a good
times.
drinking game.
Yeah, he just says it all the time. But yeah, so those are like kind of the main. Last but not least, he takes care of Tiny Lister.
He's a security guard. Yeah, fun to see Tiny Lister. Of course, one of Hulk Hogan's great arch enemies.
No holds barred.
Yeah, no holds
Yeah.
barred, where he played Zeus.
That's right. Is that his name in that?
His name
He
is
played Zeus in another movie.
Well, he also, not in a movie, he played the character of Zeus in real life on a wrestling pay-per-view where he challenged Hulk Hogan for the championship of the WWF.
What year was that?
Maybe 88, 89. It was it was to coincide with No Holds Barred.
Then I knew that's how I knew him.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That's why I know that he's Zeus. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was
Because you watched him wrestle.
Oh, absolutely. 88, 89, that was my jam. So there you go. Wow. Thank you.
I think they wrote a big Z on his head, maybe.
It had, yeah. I knew it's Zeus. All right. Okay, got it. All right. Wow. Memory lane. Yeah, he gives him kind of a weird, right? Like he says like, I wish you'd go to hell or something, and I was with you or something, and he takes him to hell. And then how does he dispatch of Lister after that? Because he just brings him there. Does he leave him?
He just leaves him there. Yeah, he does the same thing with the girl in the first one.
Yeah.
But it like he just like takes her down to his like throne kingdom and like and describes it to her, like explains it basically. It's exposition.
He likes taking people to where he resides. I feel like he's one of those people. If he was a little nicer, he'd have people over. You know, just like, and over here are my skulls.
I mean, that's basically what he's doing.
Yeah, it's true. Behind me is the soul of a man who wished for a sailboat, thus the sail impaled through his skull.
I apologize for not having a second chair.
My dining set is at the IKEA hell right now. It's being I couldn't put it together, and Jin can't wish his own things. So would you mind using one of your wishes?
I'm not a handy Jin.
I wish one of the reasons I want to get my kingdom is so the other jinns and I can grant each other wishes, and therefore I can get something done for myself. It would be very helpful, especially for this chair. This chair. You see that sofa? It's been sitting over there like a lazy boy for 1,000 years, but I can't work it. Do you know how to work Comcast? I cannot get any service.
They've got to have bad service in the Jin Throne world.
Oh,
You got it. Listen, Comcast, you know, in the Jin Throne world, they've got Time Warner.
Yeah, they have they're on hold forever.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way they can get through.
I'm a jinn. You think you'd wish you would fear to put me through? I want an operator. No, I want a real person.
Your call is important to us.
Oh, Henry. Meanwhile, let's check in with Morgana. She's like investigating this whole thing. Like we just keep cutting between Jin in jail and Morgana is in her apartment, like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and how, because she's aware of Jin. Like she sees like news stories with him. And she's like, "Oh my God, he's that guy!" Like
and she has the dreams, like
oh, that's right. He's in her dreams.
Yeah, he's not really good at subtlety. Yeah. But I guess
it feels like if he never went into her dreams, he would have just gotten away with getting 100 souls.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything. He needs 1,001 souls.
Oh, right.
By the end of the movie, he's up to 800. I mean,
the 1,001 souls you have to have before you die.
Right, I thought, and that's one thing in the rule book I didn't understand. If he gets, and they try to explain it in the Russian mob sequence, which I'm sure you'll get to, but so he needs the person who freed him to just grant 3, but it seems like he can bypass that by getting 1,001 other people to make a wish. So but yet he's so concerned that he's doing both. And then it seems like you're going to have to explain this part to me. Morgana is invulnerable. She gets shot and nothing happens.
Is that at the end?
Yeah, well, not even before this is before the casino.
But has she achieved purity yet?
Yeah.
Because that's what makes her invincible.
I don't remember them saying that.
They say the only thing that can beat the Djinn, other than making the perfect wish, which we found out in the first movie, is by achieving perfect purity. And so what Morgana does is she's a goth, right? So the only way for her to be pure is to de-goth. So she unshreds her hair and she changes her wardrobe. She starts wearing sensible sweater sets and she
shops at Ann Taylor. She cuts off her pinky inexplicably.
Did she?
Yeah. There's a scene where she has a knife and the next
scene
she's got the whole rest of the movie. She's got a bandage around her hand because she's sacrificed, like she's in the fucking Yakuza. She cuts her pinky off.
Yeah, she committed pinky seppuku.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's like, and she said, like, because he goes, the priest says, like, what's wrong with your head?
Oh, that's right. We should talk about that dude.
What happened to your head? And she's like,
I want to say I've got nothing against this priest. I think he's a totally fine actor.
I knew you like him because I saw that he's been in like 300 shows that you love.
Listen, does it help that he's the basketball dad from One Tree Hill? Yes. Yes, it does.
As I saw all that shit, I was like, as soon as I talk shit on this terrible actor, Dan's going to love him.
He's fine.
I mean, you know.
He's just this big, bulky dude. So he's a priest, and he apparently used to date Morgana before, I guess, he was a priest and she was a museum robber.
Before he renounced, yeah.
And so they are like basically a team in this movie. He's going to help her become more pure, and they're going to slowly fall back in love with each other.
Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. There was something I had seen. Oh, I know what he was in that I saw. I guess he was in several episodes of Mad Men. He played Ferg Donnelly, which I do not remember.
Ferg sounds like a very familiar name, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It's the last season, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's the last. Yeah, it's the final season. He was in the last season. Ferg
What's this actor's name? Jake Scott?
No, Paul Johansson, but you're
close.
close.
I think Jake Scott might have been his character on One Tree Hill. Wait, it's Dan Scott. It's Dan Scott.
Dan Scott.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Boondock Saints 2, Henry. We could cover him again.
Awesome. Yeah, he's in a lot of TV, dude, that you've seen. So
really?
Yeah.
Like what else?
Dharma and Greg.
I have seen
the
that.
Drew Carey Show.
Seen every up.
CSI. Bones.
Oh, I've definitely seen that.
I know. But see, okay, that's funny, though.
A season 11 episode of Bones? Yes, I've seen it.
But you clearly just remember him from his unforgettable One Tree Hill acting.
Well, he's like a main character on that show. He's like a regular. Oh, okay. He's like one of the main character's dads. Yeah. And I think he might be the biological dad of Chad Michael Murray, too. I don't remember. I only watched the first season.
I mean, that's what I thought, but I think in the 10th season they revealed that's not the case.
There are only 9 seasons, Henry. You're making a fool of yourself.
For you. You know what it is? He's not that bad. I think it's kind of hitting me right now. I couldn't put my finger on it during the movie, but it's hitting me right now. He has no chemistry with Holly Fields.
That's true.
That's what it is.
That is true.
Because she does have a unique look and charisma, and he's got none of that.
It's hard to imagine them ever being together.
Yeah. He's like a jockey, kind of floppy-haired, Biff, and
he's so big. He's such a bulky motherfucker. Yeah,
he's huge. He can't even fit his collar on correctly. He's always walking around with like his shirt open and shit. Like, what kind of priest?
And he doesn't throw a single fucking punch in this entire movie. Like, there should have been a scene where he like takes off his priest collar, goes shirtless, starts like bashing ass.
It's time for you to chill out. I'm gonna grant your wish.
You mean my wish?
So the Wishmaster figures out the only place where there's more desperate people than prison is Las Vegas. So
that was really good. I mean, that
it's
should have
smart.
been obvious. But
Yeah.
did you see it come?
No.
Yeah, I feel like when it happened, I was like, I'm an idiot. How did I not see that coming? But when they show up it says casino.
Mm-hmm. He goes to Vegas and he immediately gets a job as a card dealer, which I found amazing.
What he gets a job as? Bokeem Woodbine.
The
shows
great Bokeem Woodbine. He is way too good for this movie.
I was surprised. I had to do some filmography checks. I was like, what point are we in his career? He didn't need to do this. He was already Bokeem Woodbine.
Totally. Like he wasn't like the Bokeem Woodbine. Like Bokeem Woodbine at this point has like a rep. Like you're only gonna put him in classy shit pretty much.
Yeah,
but like
Fargo, you know.
But yeah, but at the time he was already doing interesting shit.
Yeah, I mean so that's why it was weird. But I don't really know.
You know what though? He doesn't show up until over an hour into this 90-minute movie. And he's fourth billed. I bet he got like a good payday for like a week of work.
Oh, $2.5 million. I fucking hope he did.
Yeah. I hope Divoff got the lion's share of that.
I would think he would have demanded it. I wish to. Yeah.
I wish for 50% of the budget.
Oh my God, how awful would it be, or how great, depending on your perspective, if he was a method actor and the whole time on set
he was talking like that?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I read something about this movie that's bonkers that he went through. I read this, of course, in the great interview I read with Holly Fields. She was talking about what an incredible pro Andrew Divoff is, bro. And apparently, during like one of the big scenes where he's like all demoned up, they kept the contact lenses, like those Darth Maul contact lenses, in too long, and it fused to his eyeball. And he had to like go to the hospital and get it removed from his eye, and he like couldn't like see. He was like in the hospital for a week, and so like they had to do some parts of the movie, like conversation scenes where he wasn't there. And apparently he's such a good guy that he called Holly Fields and apologized for not being on set for her close-ups.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm still getting over the fused part, but yeah, he's a trooper. Wow, he's committed. My God.
Do you like that I know so much about Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, and didn't remember anything about the first one?
You do that though, you know, with some of these movies. You glom onto one and you go all in. And so the other one becomes a distant memory.
That's right.
That's just
this is my Wishmaster movie.
All right, yeah, I get it. I haven't had one
I don't need any fucking Kane Hodder's or Robert Englund's in my life. Just give me Divoff.
Right. Yeah. Divoff.
All right, so she's pure. She's with the priest. He's dealing cards in Vegas. And of course, he starts to like grant wishes, and so the casino's losing money. Everything gets chaotic. Things are fucking insane. It's awesome.
Well, I was trying to figure that out because I said earlier about him not being able to read minds, but he must be able to. Or everyone, although at casinos, because I've taken you to AC, people do speak out loud. Like,
well, I think that's what it is. Like, give me, I need a 5. I need a 5.
Yeah,
do you wish for a 5?
Yeah, how can he keep track? There's like 600 people. They're all talking at the same time, and he's like, "All right, we done."
It is that. It totally is.
Okay, wait, hold on, slow down. Granted, done as you wish. Done. Oh, this is exhausting. 200 more to go. There you are. Oh, there you are, Holly. Forget that nonsense. I just need 3 from you.
We skipped over her sex scene, by the way.
Oh, yeah. The priest, very loose with his vows, by the way. Very loose. Although better a woman.
And also the fact that, like, she's, like, trying desperately to be pure. Well, there's that one line. There's that great line, dude, where he goes, or what was it? She goes, they start to kiss. And he goes, I don't think this is the way to get to heaven. And she goes, don't be sure.
Oh, my God. Now, granted,
that's how good this pussy is.
granted, that is a pretty. I know you'll agree with me on this. That is a pretty routine exchange to have right before copulation. Definitely, bringing up heaven, and then you or the lady saying.
I frequently bring up theocracy, theology. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a struggle for you. Theocracy.
It was.
Yeah. In a theocratic environment, one would say,
Shit starts going after this. Though we cut back and shit's like really wild. Like he's not just giving people money. The roulette wheel is like rolling around, chopping people up.
Look, but this is the scene that you have to compare to the ending of the first movie when the statues are coming alive. It's the same. It's the analogous.
I think it's better here. It's more chaotic.
It's not. It's more chaotic because they're killing everyone.
Those like playing cards are shooting out and like stabbing people.
He liked that effect because he did it like 300 different ways.
Because it's the only thing that looks convincing in the entire movie.
There's a lot of like flying discs and wheels that look terrible. It's like the Tommy knockers or some shit. But I think in the first movie, that shit's way more creative with like the old samurai statues coming to life and everything. I mean, this is borderline. But I know you at this point. You're already in this movie. You're watching this going, oh fuck yeah, how many cards are we gonna? What other games though? I mean, because it's a casino. There's lots of games, and he just uses cards.
That's not true. Roulette. The roulette wheel becomes a weapon of doom.
What about mahjong? Where's the mahjong tile game?
Well, we had those karate guys earlier in the movie.
1 star, woke and racist. There's so many games.
By the way, that dude, I looked at his other reviews on iTunes, the woke and racist guy. Huh? He's commented on like 20 different podcasts with 1 star where he calls them woke and racist. That's his thing.
Hack. What a fucking hack. Okay. That's what he gets. He derives pleasure in life.
Yeah, he's just this guy. He wants to call people PC or whatever.
Fucking loser.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I hope you're listening.
How about this? We got into craps, Henry.
That's true, but you didn't see any die-related deaths.
But he says that she's crapped out, and then she starts to fart out gold coins.
All right, but she doesn't die.
And she shits herself to death. We never see her die, but I assume that's got to cause some colon damage.
Well, it would cause colon damage, but if she's richer than Croesus, then she could just get her colon fixed.
Who's Croesus?
So Croesus was a Greek god of wealth, essentially.
Okay. So what happens? Oh, well, she's pure enough, and now she's invincible, and they beat him. What do you give this movie?
1.
1? You can't even have the courtesy of a 2.
Look, I actually got to say, I had made a vow that I was going to really commit and stick to what I felt when I was watching it and what I felt when it was over, and it was all 1 star type relief. But your enthusiasm, I mean, I don't know. If I give it a 2,
no, you can give it a 1. You're Henry.
The first one's much better to me.
It's not. I would rank them 2-1.
I disagree. I really did prefer the first movie. Like, it wasn't like they both suck.
When you grade them, I want you to grade with your heart's desire. Your heart's
on
desire.
Letterboxd, I would give it a 1.
Okay, it's a 1. It's a 1.
And you're gonna go. You're not going 5. I know you're not. You're gonna go 4.
I was going to go 3, but I'm so annoyed by your 1. I'm giving it a 4.
You're such a fucking liar. There's no way you were gonna do 3.
No, I swear to you. When I went into the podcast, I was gonna give it a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
You fucking love this thing.
I know, but like I'm judging it against like real movies. I mean, it's not.
This gets a 3. Come on now.
No, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
You give Weekend at Bernie's a 5 star.
That deserves it.
So this must deserve it. I would take this movie.
This isn't as good as Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh yes, it is. I'll take it any day.
This is as good. This falls somewhere in between Weekend at Bernie's and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
I'd watch this twice over either one of those in sequence.
That's ridiculous.
Gladly, with pleasure.
Who's your MVP?
Leia Morgana. I want to give it to Davoff.
The answer is Divoff, but just to be different, I am of course going with the beautiful and talented Holly Fields.
Yeah.
By the way, who is now a noted voice actress, and I read that she has done Cameron Diaz's voice on all like the Shrek animated shit. And so I read that like before I saw the movie, and then I was listening out, does she sound like Cameron Diaz? And I can confirm she does.
You really went deep. I mean, you really...
I've got a lot of time on my hands right now.
I'm glad. No, I mean, some weeks we do, I think, God, the time I spend doing these superhero counts, fucking... But, it makes me feel better because I know that you, for your own enjoyment, are doing shit like this. And that's great. That's great. So what are you settling on, a 4 or a 3?
A 4.
You're going 4?
Yeah.
All right, so we have a clear divide, folks. This week, I really prefer the first Wishmaster. Dan he's hardcore on this.
I'm a staunch defender of Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies.
Yeah. He
and
is.
I'd like to thank the great patron Michael Hartley for providing this film for us.
Which, by the way, is a great name. It's like a character in something we've covered. It's Detective Mike Hartley.
What's the name of the actor who plays like the warden on Orange is the New Black? I feel like it might be Michael Hartley.
I thought it was fucking Pablo Schreiber.
No, he's just like a security guard or whatever.
I don't know, man.
I'm looking it up. It's Michael Harney. It's close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. I only watched the first season.
Great show. All right. Hank, LVP?
Oh, that dude, that priest. He sucks.
The priest. Oh, right. The guy I defended from One Tree Hill.
Yeah, we didn't even talk at all about the Russian mobster stuff. That was pretty decent. The bit Russian accent, and then the actual Russian man who is in 25th Hour playing Monty's guy that he owes him money to in a phenomenal scene. Did you recognize the guy?
No, and in fact, I'm going to give LVP to the Russian mob because I was not interested in that whole sequence, the whole mob.
Yeah, but I got to see that guy from 25th Hour, and I was excited because he's the same role in 25th Hour. But you remember when he's the guy who says, "I want his head," and he turns into his head? Yeah.
I don't remember, but I will say that the cop who initially interrogates the Wishmaster he played Russell, a businessman vampire, in the first episode of Angel.
Really?
That's right.
Really? Oh, I wish I could have heard that last sentence, but I didn't. But that's all right.
It doesn't matter to you at all. I was talking about Buffy. Well, what's the superhero count on this baby?
Little higher here. 4 count. Look out. Tiny Lister. Of course, we've come across him before in something else, obviously.
He's in the Friday films. We'll come across him again.
Again and again, I will tell you, of course, he was major cameo in The Dark Knight.
Oh, I recall it.
On the ferry who will not choose to kill one.
That's right. He's a real nice guy in The Dark Knight.
Yeah. I love that Nolan put him in that. He must be a fan. I mean, that's pretty cool.
It is a weird choice to think like, who can I get who just like
who can I get?
Yeah, right. Who's just like will he
talk or
no? I'm losing it.
The Jin voice took it a lot out of you.
It really did. Yeah.
My throat hurts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for someone who can be like this nice, calming presence on the ferry, and Nolan's thought is Tiny Lister.
I'm going through the list here, and I do believe that who's the fellow from No Holds Barred? I want to see like another side to him. Maybe is it Tiny Lister? Give me Tiny Lister.
Yeah. And then Bale's in the background, like, you know, he's good. You can get Tiny Lister in the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Who's the?
Holly
You know who's
Field.
in No Holds Barred a lot, like as much as Hulk Hogan? That's really weird. Kurt Fuller.
Oh, Don Baker.
No.
Oh, that was a good guess on my
Yeah.
part. Kurt Fuller, of course.
He's all over No Holds Barred.
Of course he is. All right. Second count. Tiny Lister was first. Holly Fields.
I'm listening.
Okay. Played Rebecca Merlin in the show Arrow.
Well,
So
Merlin
you should check
Merlin's a major Arrow villain. He's a fellow archer, evil archer. I didn't really watch Arrow much, but
I thought he's in one. She's in the. Oh, maybe not the first season. You
Yeah.
probably tuned out. After
I only
first
watched
season.
the first like 10 episodes. But she was she's probably like Merlin's dad or something.
Merlin's dad. All right. Thirdly, Chris Webber. who
Chris
played
Webber was
Eric.
in this movie, the great basketball player.
And you know he's unrecognizable in
Yeah.
his gin soul covered makeup. Soul being eaten. The souls, that was not really that cool. All
Right.
right. Chris Webber played the priest, I believe, and he was Officer O'Brien in the 2009 masterpiece that is unanimously regarded by
Chris
me,
Webber's
you, and all.
Chris Webber's the guy who gets turned into a fetus at the beginning, not the
Thank you.
priest.
You're absolutely right, because that was Gregory. Okay, that was Father Gregory. Well, Chris Webber, the fetus boy, he was Officer O'Brien in the 2009 Zack Snyder feature, Watchmen. Heard of that one?
Officer O'Brien. So probably in like that first scene. Remember when the police officers are going up into that high rise
For
to like
comedian.
investigate the comedian's death? Yeah.
I don't know. I'd already tuned out of that movie. in
Oh,
the
did you
opening
already
credits.
tune out because the movie starts with a Bob Dylan song? The times they are a changing.
Well, that didn't help, and I already knew that this guy did not get it.
Yeah.
Lastly, Bokeem Woodbine. I saw this movie. I don't remember a minute, but that's okay because I didn't like the movie. You loved this movie, and that is Spider-Man: Homecoming. He played Herman Schultz / Shocker number 2.
Yeah. Shocker. Shocker is at the very beginning of the movie. Spider-Man fights the Shocker, and then at the end of the movie, there's a different iteration of the Shocker. He must be that.
I confused him with Jamie Foxx in Electro.
That's Electro. Two different Spider-Man villains, both with electric powers.
And both black.
Well, Electro isn't in the comic, but he is in the movie.
All right.
Yeah. Neither is Shocker, by the way. Shocker's white in the comic, too.
Casting director's like, all right, we need a black guy, all right? We need like something with electricity. I don't know why. Just put them in.
If there's one thing Stan Lee got wrong, it's that men with electricity powers should always be black. They'd be burnt, right? Their skin would be... a little blackened.
All right.
Yeah.
Little tarred.
Little tarred. I fucking hate us. All right. What a great film. Two great films. What should we talk about? You want to bring up some, how about some iTunes reviews?
Oh, why don't we, since we do have fans all around the world? I wish that we had a fan in Singapore. Guess what? We do.
We're high on the charts in Singapore.
Dude, we are really killing it on this planet right now, and I'm proud of us because something occurred to me today, Daniel. I meant to ask you off air, but guess what? I'm going to ask you now. To even make one of these chartings, it can't just be that one person in, Singapore is listening to us. That's impossible. The numbers are too high in that country for us, right?
No,
we must have at least
people
5.
listen to the show.
You ever heard
Do you
all
think?
over the world,
Do you
folks.
think like the patrons are our only listeners?
No. I know. When we do that show, honestly, I put a little bit less effort into it. But no, I know that that's not true, by the way. I'll for all the 46 of you.
I'm more myself, if anything.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think I could be more myself on the patron casts.
I don't really differentiate, which proves that I don't care who our audience is. I give 100 for all of it. But I know what you mean. You can be more yourself because only 46 people can be offended by you.
And there are people I know like me a whole lot if they're paying to listen to it. Yeah.
Great point. Switzerland, Singapore, Taiwan. Anyway, I just wanted to ask you if you knew. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Or
about
if
that.
you knew that.
Read the iTunes reviews.
All right, here we go. 6 days ago, Cineman 1985 left us a 5-star rating or review, titled it probably
It's a review.
my favorite.
You don't have to say rating or review. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my God! Just let the guy talk.
Okay. Fine.
Let him.
I'll shut the fuck up. Go ahead.
I don't know if that's possible, but all right. He's an American man. These guys are hilarious. Dan falling out of his chair while Henry commentating nearly caused me to have a wreck. I laughed so hard, so maybe don't listen while driving. Oh, that's the end of the sentence. I laughed so hard. Period.
Okay.
Comedians roast their audience all the time. Stop crying if they make fun of you. Take a joke. Jeez.
Interesting.
I cannot wait to hear the review of I cannot wait to hear the review of Wishmaster 2. That movie, I won't call it a film, is outrageous.
I would call it a film, and it's outrageous in a great way.
Outrageous in a bad way. Thank you, Cineman 1985. That's really nice, and you're right about the fact that comedians. That's very flattering to call us comedians. We are funny. And
Jesus
I guess
Christ,
we do,
this is why I don't let you talk for too long.
I get easily flattered. You don't.
You do.
Easily flattered. Dan knows right away, right? He probably knew when I was reading. He was going, Henry's going to say that he's not a comedian.
No, I didn't. It took me by surprise. Okay.
Well, I'm very flattered. What would you say in response to that? I think it's a great review.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
That's it. That's all he has to fucking
No,
say.
it's nice. It was. I loved reading it. Those really boost my day when I first see them, for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And we are comedians, professional, because we get paid. All right. The next one is from our old UK Dave. But you know what, Dave, good timing. We needed this right now. So I appreciate you re-reviewing us. Mm-hmm. Can I do it in a British accent?
Yeah, please do.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do it in a Cockney. UK Dave doesn't care because he's cool with us.
Where's he from?
I don't remember, but it's in one of my emails.
Tell me where you're from. Are you Northern? I could do different British accents.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
I'm the British accent guy on this show, and I know that you cannot. All right, fine, do one. I want to hear Northern England. Let's hear what's going on in Northern England, Dan.
Well, it's like the poor people, right? They live on the estates. Right? Estate housing?
I don't really know that. Sure. Yeah. So go. Yeah, that's what Mm-hmm. So?
I can't do it. I need something to say.
Oh, my God. Read the review.
I don't have it on me.
Okay. Wow. Really? Okay, great. Let me just continue then. I thought they had done it all successfully. Drama, comedy, action, horror, romance. But they added historical films now to the list with Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Golden Age. Superb. So whatever your taste in films, check out their back catalogue of 200 plus episodes. Yeah. You will find many entertaining episodes and definitely will have a good time. Emphasis added not by me, but by UK Dave. Thank you, Dave.
I appreciated that especially because it's a UK person approving of our discussion of the royalty. And we insulted England a lot in that episode.
Well, I got an email from UK Dave about that too. But it was no, he wasn't mad. He wasn't mad.
Okay.
Very funny email saying basically that he hated them too, but he hated more of the fact that I guess we wouldn't really know this as Americans, but that I guess in the UK they pay a lot of attention to people in the royalty who really are kind of like third tier.
Yeah,
royalty.
no, I'm actually a little bit aware of that.
You would be more than me.
It seems to me that it's like the people who obsess over the Kardashians here are way into the royalty over there.
He really hates. I know he'd want me to say this. He really fucking hates Meghan Markle.
Well, that's racist.
Yeah,
she was my favorite character on Suits.
Is she black?
Of course, it was a huge deal that Prince Harry married her. Everyone got really weird about it. But I mean, but now the Brits are back to hating her because she took him to America with her, and now they're living in California.
I didn't really know she was black. I thought the big hoopla was all about that she was like some American TV.
Yeah, she's an
star.
American black TV star. That's why there was a lot of hoopla.
Jeez, she looks white to me.
Well, she's not.
I didn't know that. You literally just told me Meghan Markle is black, and I had no idea.
That's ridiculous.
I had no idea.
Wait, I have a third review. Just came in.
Great.
Yeah. Here it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you guys are mean to me. Oh, they made fun of my hero, Elvis. Why do you have to be so mean?
1 star.
Boy. So he led another review. Wow. All right. Well, he was really hurt. Thank you very much.
The little Dana Carvey. All right.
Elvis as Ross Pro. No. We can't end the show yet. Guys, for 2 weeks, Dan and I have forgotten 2 RIPs, and they're serious.
You're right. They're 2 of our favorites, honestly, and let's talk about it. I mean, we're not gonna discuss it, but just to acknowledge the death of the amazing Fred Willard, one of the great comedic actors of my entire life, and someone I care for a lot, and sad or more untimely anyway, death of the great filmmaker Lynn Shelton, who I'm an enormous fan of and always look forward to her work. And I suppose we've seen the last of it. A rare blood disorder. She died suddenly. Yeah. It was horrible.
I only have seen 2 of her films, but one of them is, I'll always love it. I'll watch it again and again. Your Sister's Sister. And I did like Touchy Feely very well. Now, I know you're a bigger fan than me just because I haven't seen more than those 2 films, but you she's one of those filmmakers you followed right? You would definitely look for her movie.
Your Sister's Sister is utterly essential.
Love it.
But I will say, if you are interested in watching her work now that she's dead, like when Michael Jackson died and everybody at Barnes & Noble bought his best of, you can check out Hump Day. Hump Day is amazing, a classic, one of my favorite comedies. I would say Outside In, which I believe is on Netflix with Edie Falco, is a really fantastic film. I would say that her latest one, Sword of Trust, is well worth seeking out with Mark Maron in a great lead performance. She was one of the best, and it's really sad that she's gone. And she also directed a lot of episodes of Glow, some shows I like.
Why did you bring up what did she have to do with when Michael Jackson died? I feel like you didn't finish that thought.
No. I'm just saying, if you want to now dig into her work now that she's dead. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Fred Willard, I'll take him for a second because there's a lot to cover with Fred Willard's career, but obviously in Spinal Tap, he's pretty fucking funny as the airline hangar lieutenant. But for me personally, this is just my personal favorite, but I'm sure it might be Dan's. I don't know, although he loves What Happened?
Well, it's funny. I feel like there are 2 Fred Willard lines that I constantly reference on the show.
What happened?
What happened? And it's not really his line, but it's his scene in Best in Show. The Gray Ghost.
Yes,
I say that all the time.
I was going to say this. His role in Best in Show, and that is a movie. It's my favorite Christopher Guest movie, along with The Big Picture. It's always been a tie between those 2, and every role in that movie is great, including Holland.
For me, it's Guffman, and Willard is amazing in that too.
Guffman's phenomenal. That's top notch 5-star. But Best in Show just for me is my favorite. But Fred Willard, I hate to say that he steals the movie because
he does. So you can never watch a dog show the same way after that. It's an unforgettable performance.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He is on fire. Everything he says in that movie is hysterical. I can only imagine what the cutting room floor was like.
Oh my God! And I don't know how that guy sitting next to him got through those fucking scenes.
Jim Piddock, the great Jim Piddock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What a fantastic comedic actor and presence, and we've covered him on the show. Remember, he showed up in American Wedding as Allison Hannigan's dad.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been meaning to say that for a while.
Yeah.
And I actually remember Dan had said, remind me. Of course, I didn't. And this week I did.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, bro.
That's my pleasure. All right, what's coming up next there, bud?
Oh, right. Well, I'll tell you, Henry. We're covering a couple more Wishmaster movies.